Hey, this is Lou Mangello from WDW Radio, and you're listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Let's do this.
The tangents this week continue all the way to episode 128, and the Fandom news is so nice when they know that we don't have anything to talk about. The news just comes flooding in, and we're like, yay, thank you. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going to the virtual table and see who joined us this week.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
This is Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hello.
Trust me, I was trying really hard to think of a topic, but it came up to
Yeah, we're kind of in that lull period where some of the shows are back, but there's not much else. But there's news, so that's good. So we will talk about news this week.
Yep.
And lots of it.
Yes.
And Brittany does send her regards.
Yes.
Poor girl has the sore throat from you know where. It is. She came on to say hi temporarily, and she did not sound like herself.
No,
Poor
not
girl.
at all.
She whispered first, and then she spoke normal. And
I wouldn't be able to pick her out of a lineup.
Yes.
No.
So Brittany, get well, and I'm sure our listeners would say the same.
Yeah. Yep. So this week's show is going to be nothing but the news. So
let's just dive right
straight
in, I
into
guess.
it. Yeah.
I'll take point on this first one.
Since it's appropriate to you.
Yes. I actually have a bit of a story about one of these. Salt Lake FanX, is less than a month away. They announced some more guests. And the big one was...
You did call.
Yes.
Yes, well, so did everybody else.
Yeah,
I can't fully take responsibility for that. But Jason Momoa, best known as Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones, and as Aquaman from the Justice League movies, he is going to be at FanX, and that was the Justice League announcement that we alluded to last week. So, hooray! And then also they announced two others, Vern Troyer, whom you may know. He's both best known as Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Mm-hmm. He's also been in, he was Grip Hook in Harry Potter, and he's been in a bunch of other movies, so he'll be here. And also Jennifer Hale, if you do not know the name immediately, you probably know the voice. Especially if you have played any kind of video game or watched any animated TV show within the last 20 years, you have heard her voice, I promise. And I actually have a funny story about this one. A couple days before they officially announced her as a guest, Brian Brandenburg, who's one of the co-founders of the con, was teasing on the closed Comic-Con group. He's like saying, "Oh, we have a really big, or one of the most prolific voice actors in video gaming is coming." And I was sitting here with Jared, and I was like, and I said that, I was like, "Oh, I wonder who it is," and he said Jennifer Hale, and I was like, "Oh yeah, probably." And so I just guessed it because everybody else was putting in guesses for the teases and everything, and so I put her down, didn't say anything else, just put her name. And then a couple days later, I get a private message on Facebook from Brian and Sarah Jones, who handle some of the logistics of Comic-Con, and they said, "Hey, you don't say anything yet, but you guessed Jennifer Hale. You're right. We're sending you a free multi-pass."
Yeah, nice.
So,
Sweet.
Yep. Now, we already have 2 gold passes, so we don't need them. But we're trying to. Our first choice is to give it to my mother-in-law because she loves Jason Momoa, and we'd like to take her and get her to meet him. She's kind of had a hard time. She's had knee surgery a couple times the last year, so it's kind of hard for her to get around. But we're gonna try and see if we asked her if she wants to go. It's like I'm just like, you don't have to go all 3 days. It's not like I paid for this one.
Yeah.
But but Jared and I were both like, we need Jennifer Hale to sign something, and because like, oh my gosh, I just like she's been in. I'll have to pull up the thing, but she's, what is the thing? Well, one of Jared's favorite video games, Mass Effect, although he's kind of soured on it for different reasons. But that's she's in that. She is in, oh my gosh, they listed so freaking many things she's been in. So she's been in Powerpuff Girls. And now that I'm trying to think of them, I'm like, I know she's been in a ton of things. Now I can't think of them because I'm just brain cramping.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in a lot of the Disney sequel movies. She was in Eternal Darkness, which is a video game that Jared introduced me to that I absolutely love, which is, like I've said, but I don't know if I've mentioned this before. It's kind of weird that I love that game. Yes, it Totally Spies. She's been in Star Wars, Clone Wars. Yeah, so you will, if you hear her voice, you will probably recognize it. So yeah, I definitely want to get something signed by her, and we're probably thinking about Eternal Darkness, the video game we have, because holy cow, that's like, she's a legend, and I'm excited about it.
She was in Carmen. We're in Earth is Carmen Sandiego. I remember watching those cartoons.
Yep.
Wow.
And I'm just looking on the Comic-Con page, announcing her. Now I've got to go look at her IMDb.
Bebop movie.
Right. Yes. It's just.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph was voice of Galadriel in Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor video game. Oh, Kyoshi from Legend of Korra. Oh, and I know she was in Avatar: The Last Airbender. She was the lady with the weasel thing that had really good sense of smell. Now I can't remember what it was called. Oh my gosh. I know that's like really. Let's see. Oh, June. June is the lady's the character's name. I remember her.
It's almost like you could take like a dart to IMDb and probably land on her.
Yeah, pretty much. Like just go to her IMDb page. It just keeps going and going and going. It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
I'm
so anyway,
sure she doesn't mind when the residuals start coming in.
Oh, I bet not. And she is really good. I mean, this isn't to say like, oh, she's been in so many things. And I mean, yeah, she's fantastic.
Very cool.
Oh, and I guess I didn't know she'd come back for the new Powerpuff Girls TV series. She plays Miss Keene, who she played in the old one too. So, yay! So we've got some pretty good names coming to Salt Lake, and I am excited.
Awesome. Very cool. You need for winning stuff.
Yes,
even if you don't need it.
Well, I would rather give something to somebody.
Yeah.
Which reminds me. So I don't know if this will reach anybody who needs it, but with the multi-pass, I also have 3, they're called pay it forward links, and basically it's if you buy or apparently win a multi-pass, you get discount links you can give to people so they can use those and maybe get, if they want to go but they can't pay the full price of the ticket, you give them the link and they will actually pay a discounted price for a ticket. So if anyone out there is wants to come to FanX, needs a ticket, would like a discount, PM me on Twitter, or Facebook, and I will gladly pass those on because I don't need them, and I'd rather them go to somebody.
That's cool.
I'll probably put up a thing on Facebook and say, hey,
yeah,
you want this? I have it. Come get it.
Yeah.
I'll give it to
Someone
you.
wants just to send us a message on our Facebook. We'll make sure we all see the private messages. So.
Yeah, totally. Send it through our Five-ish Fangirls Facebook, and I will. I just have to email it to you, so that's all I need.
Yeah.
And then you can go ahead and buy it yourself.
Cool. Even better. Awesome. All right. Moving on to our next bit of news. This kind of broke the internet. Just a smidge. Especially now since they started filming it. But we are getting a sequel to Love Actually. Kind of. There's a asterisk on the end of that. Read the fine print. In this case, the fine print is that it's actually going to be a bit that they're filming for Red Nose Day. So it's only going to be like 10 minutes long. But Richard Curtis, who directed Love Actually, wrote and is going to be directing this. And it's just going to be a short film that's going to revisit the lives of the characters, and they've got most of the cast back. There's already been pictures posted of Liam Neeson filming on the bench in front of the water with his on-screen son. Still wearing the same turtleneck, actually. Apparently they kept that in storage just in case. But they got Hugh Grant back, Keira Knightley, Andrew Lincoln, Colin Firth, Bill Nighy, even Rowan Atkinson is coming back to film this. So it's going to be kind of a where are they now 14 years later kind of thing. So I guess a lot of it, will depend on who else they managed to nab. Just at the time this was announced, they said, we've got these people. Obviously, there's a lot of names missing. Obviously, Alan Rickman is no longer with us, so how that will incorporate into the story, well, yet to be determined, but we will find out on Red Nose Day, which is in March. I don't know the date. March something.
That means I gotta pull out my copy of Love Actually again and watch this before it airs.
Yeah.
Even though it's not Christmas.
Even though it's not Christmas,
No
and I'm
problem
probably
at
yeah, and I will cry like a baby because that's the one of Alan Rickman's movies that I have not been able to make myself watch since he passed. So
I hear you.
So it's like I'm like super excited. At the same time, it's like, oh, it's gonna be sad because he's not gonna be in it. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But the cast and the crew, they seem very excited about it. So we'll see. I guess on Red Nose Day. So, but like they announced it and started filming like the next day, a couple days later. Like Richard Curtis is like, yeah, I'm writing it. We start filming like the day after tomorrow.
No pressure.
No pressure. It's only this beloved movie, you gotta get it right, dude. So. Oh, bye. So, Red Nose Day, stay tuned. Obviously, that's more of a UK thing, but we do celebrate it here in the United States too. Like
we get to see the little shorts anyway too.
Yeah.
So,
and I know my neck of the woods, like Walgreens is one of the major drugstores, and they sell the noses, so you can buy the noses, and the part of the money goes to the charity. So
I think I've donated to it through their website. It was a while ago, but I remember doing it just because I remember what it was, but I just was sitting there. Doctor Who had one that had a short thing that day, and I just ended up watching a whole bunch of them. And I'm just like, you know what? Here, I enjoy this. Have a couple bucks. Well, it was more than that, but
but that's all it takes.
Yep,
a couple bucks. It's good for a good cause. We usually get some good skits out of it, usually from Doctor Who and some other things. So it's all good. So.
Well, our next bit of news Donald Glover is going to be a busy boy.
Yes, Disney has gotten him in their clutches.
Yes, James Earl Jones and Donald Glover to join in the live-action version of The Lion King. So Donald Glover has been cast to play Simba in the upcoming reimagining of The Lion King, to be directed by Jon Favreau. He also directed the Jungle Book remake last year. And additionally, James Earl Jones, also known as the voice of Darth Vader,
among other things,
another Star Wars vet, will reprise his role as Simba's father Mufasa in the new film. Screenwriter Jeff Nathanson has already been hired to write this new version of The Lion King, although a target release date for the movie has not yet been announced. Yippee!
Yep.
So that makes me wonder if they are going to still keep the Elton John soundtrack, or if it's going to get rebooted, or Sir Elton will be adding more songs. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they could just re-record or cover the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Although some of them it wouldn't quite be the same. I don't know. I mean, if they want these live action-ish movies, because The Lion King is obviously going to have to be CGI.
Yeah.
CGI animals. Yeah. But if they want these to kind of stand on their own, there's quite a bit of tweaking that they should do. Which I kind of thinking of Jungle Book, where they had some of the songs still in there, but it was had their own little spin on it, and the movie ended up being a lot more different than the animated. So,
but they better keep Zazu snarky as he was in the.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Speaking
Snarky
of Rowan
Zazu
Atkinson.
is happy Zazu.
Exactly. The coconut scene comes to mind with Scar.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Standing.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has been one of those days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's just like they've been doing these live action Disney movies, and they'll put like little nods and winks to the original in there, but as far as I know, this is the first time they've actually got someone who was in the cartoon to bring them into the live action movie.
Well, and it works because it's voice acting, and you can still, no matter how old you are, how many years have passed by, you can still pretty well get away with it.
Yeah.
Because when I had heard they cast Donald Glover earlier, it's like, okay, who are they going to get for Mufasa?
Yeah, so it's in this case, it's James Earl Jones. You kind of can't have anyone else be Mufasa, just like you can't have anyone else be the voice of Darth Vader.
Exactly.
You just can't. It's all there is to it, folks. I'm sorry. It's James Earl Jones or nothing. So.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, Donald Glover's going to be very busy. Obviously, there's no release date for this because he's in the middle of filming the Han Solo origin movie. So, it's a little busy at the moment. But once he gets done with that, then they'll probably start up on this. But that's the way it is with Disney. They get you signed on for one thing, and now you're part of the family, and you just...
Yep. So do you think they're going to ask the original Timon and Pumbaa to come back, or do you think we'll get two different voice actors entirely?
That's interesting, because... I mean, like I said, it's like you want the movie to stand on its own and be its own thing. But I'm trying to think, like, who could they get that would be that would have that same spark, I guess. I don't know what else to call it.
I know that same banter, the chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry. That's the thing. Gosh,
to come back and reprise.
I think so too.
Have to wait and see.
Yep.
Watch this space. Alrighty. Moving on. Speaking of voice acting, cartoons. It kind of does actually. This actually was announced like last week, a couple weeks ago. I just didn't mention it, although I think I shared it on our Facebook page. But this is kind of coming. It came before, but it's also riding on the coattails now because was it New York? Like New York Fashion Week's been going on, but apparently also like New York like Toy Fair Week is going on as well. Like they had the London Toy Week, and now they're doing the equivalent in the United States where all the toy vendors get together and announce and show off all their new stuff, and Funko makes us cry with announcements. But the folks in charge of, if you don't know, there is a My Little Pony Friendship is Magic movie coming out later this year. It's coming out in October. And actually my nieces, I was at my in-laws over the weekend, and but for my birthday and my mother-in-law's birthday, because her birthday's the day after mine, we went and got together for, cake and all that at my grandmother-in-law's house. But my nieces insisted on buying both my mother-in-law and I balloons, and they got a stuffed animal each to weigh down said balloons. So my mother-in-law got a monkey, and I got a little stuffed Applejack for My Little Pony, because they know Applejack's my favorite, and I cosplay as Applejack. So when they were at the store, they're like, "We have to get Rachel Applejack." Very excited.
They know you so well.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures, and I'm just like, oh yeah, those girls have her number pegged.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I was like, did you guys know there's a My Little Pony movie coming out? And they're like, oh, really? And it just happens to come out the day after one of them's birthday. So.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, they know approximately when their birthdays are, but the concept that it's not till October and it's currently February probably doesn't equate in the 6-year-old mind, but it's all good.
Yeah. And even that many number of sleeps,
yeah. They'll find something else to obsess over, and then when the trailers and promos start coming on TV, then they'll be like, "Oh my gosh!" all over again.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway. Long story short, My Little Pony movie. We're all very excited. All of us of various ages are very excited. So the cast from the TV show is going to be doing the voices for the movie, obviously. But they're also bringing in a bunch of, created a whole bunch of new characters, and this being Hollywood, they can't just have anyone be the voices. They have to be famous people, which is fine by me. Star power, I'm all for it. So they released the names and short descriptions of the characters that these people will be voicing. So, but there's it's an interesting mix of people doing voices. Some I know, some I don't know that well. But there's going to be people like Taye Diggs, Emily Blunt, Sia, for all the Sia music fans, I guess. Michael Pena, who we all know best as, Ant-Man's friend. Liev Schreiber, Zoe Saldana, I hate to butcher, Uzo Aduba?
That sounds
pronouncing that right? And Kristen Chenoweth. And apparently Emily Blunt, Kristen Chenoweth, Sia, and Taye Diggs are all going to be singing 5 of the 7 songs that are going to be in the movie. So that is exciting. But they're adding some interesting characters. If you're not familiar with My Little Pony, it's mostly horses and horse-like creatures, but there are others. There's dragons, there's griffins. So if you look at the concept art or the character drawings for each of these characters, obviously there's like unicorns and other ponies and all that. But there's actually going to be a cat. Diggs apparently is going to be playing a cat. So, which some of the ponies have pets, but this is the first cat that's like an actual walking, talking character, I think. So
kind of make a parallel with when the Care Bears introduced the Care Bear cousins.
Yeah. So, but it's exciting. And there's going to be toys, of course, so I can see it now. My niece is probably going to have a My Little Pony themed birthday. Come October, which is 5IV. So, yep. That comes out early October. I'm excited. They're excited. I'm totally ready. My Little Pony. And in related news, they have announced that My Little Pony Friendship Magic, the TV show, is getting a season 8. So there were people thinking maybe that the movie would be like the end, because the season 7 just ended last year, and they thought maybe the movie would be it, but nope. Getting a season 8. So, and they've already released, they've showed off some of the toys with some of the characters that are going to be in season 8, including Applejack's parents, which we have not seen yet. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Oh, that is cool.
Be still my little brony heart.
Well, while My Little Pony fans have to wait until October to get a movie, Outlander fans have to wait until September to get the new season.
Aww.
That's okay. That's okay. Starz announced that the third season, they is going to premiere in September, and they were kind of comparing it to where season 1 and second half of season 2 premiered in April. They've decided to push this. Well, I mean, not push it back because it didn't really have a date to begin with, but put it in the fall so they can have more time for the production, so it's not rushed. And because this the next book that this next season is based on is how do I put it? It's a lot different than what's come already.
Yes.
I don't know what all to say without giving things away. I mean, it does take place further in the future than the first two did. Yep. So they're dealing with a whole different set of a whole different time period, set of circumstances. They've
Bree and Roger backstory.
Yeah. Brianna and Roger. Talk about shipping, which we did last week. So they said they've already wrapped production in Scotland, and now they're filming in South Africa, which I can assume what they're filming. Yep. I'm terrible at this. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like, oh, I think I know what they're filming down there. So anyway,
I think I know what they're filming too, and yeah, to quote from the song, "Spoilers, sweetie."
Lots of spoilers, guys.
Yes.
But good, all good things. So
yes, we may be seeing the return of a certain person who we thought was quasi-dead and had a little bit of an appearance in season 2.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift, right, Chrissy?
Yeah.
I believe I do.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes. Yes, her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and
anyway.
And I think with that, I even said a little too much.
Well, if people really want to find out, they can.
Yes.
We've danced around the issue quite a bit. So anyway, Outlander, September. until then, we had to wait a year for Doctor Who, so
Exactly.
have to wait a little longer for Outlander.
I like that. I like the nickname they gave it.
The books yet?
Droughtlander.
You've got time to catch up.
Yes, Rachel, Droughtlander.
Yes,
That's been kind of the. I'm like, it's so silly, but it's also so clever.
Mm-hmm.
I just giggle every time I see that, and I'm like, yeah, that's how it is. So
I wouldn't be too surprised if we get the same thing for when they do decide to do Germs of Autumn, because that was a pretty thick book too.
Yeah. So anyway, if you are waiting for Outlander and you still need to read the books like I do, I'm slowly working my way through them. I think I'm like on book 5. Yes.
I just finished Fiery Cross, and that's 5.
I think I
Ashes.
Okay, I think that Fiery Cross is the one I've started. So now's a good time to catch up on that if you don't have anything else to do. So anyway, yay Outlander. Sad we have to wait, but I will take the waiting if it means we get a spectacular season of TV. So no rush, guys. Make it good.
Yeah. Like, perfection takes time. Droughtlander. That's so funny. That's funny. Alrighty. And our last bits of news all come from the world of Disney. In this case, the Disney parks. So, you've got plans to visit either of the coasts this year, you might want to be prepared for a lot of fun. Oh
no, so much fun. Whatever shall we do?
I know. It's like, oh darn. How dare you, Disney, make your parks even more fun than they already are. First up, and actually I think this is my most favorite piece of news, and I hope he's still there by the time we go closer to the end of the year, but they are going to be adding BB-8 as a meetable character.
Ooh!
I'm so excited!
And now I wish I had plans to go.
Yep. So he's specifically going to be at Star Wars Launch Bay at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is in Florida. So he is going to join them later in the spring. He's going to join Kylo Ren and Chewbacca as because they have meet and greets there already. But I've actually seen they had BB-8 available at D23 Expo 2 years ago, so before The Force Awakens came out. And he was, he's a practical effect is what he is. I mean, even in the movies, he's not CGI, so he's a legit thing that you can touch.
He's a droid.
They
have like a remote control for him.
Yeah, so, and this is not beyond Disney's capacity, because they used to have a trash can that would walk around and could talk to people. So they've done stuff like this before, but the fact that this is BB-8 and he's the universe's cutest droid ever, just makes it even more excited. I'm so excited. I really hope he's there later in the year. So I imagine he will be. He's probably going to be very popular. So.
Oh yeah, if they take him away early, that would be a very bad move, because oh my gosh, so many people are going to want to see him.
Yeah.
They love the precious cinnamon roll.
Yes.
Yes. So
yep.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll still be there.
Yep, probably. Kylo Ren's gonna wonder where everybody went.
Although I have to say it, having Kylo Ren and Chewbacca, there could be some very awkward moments.
Yeah, well,
given what happened in Force Awakens.
That's true. We met Darth Vader and Boba Fett and Chewbacca when we were at Disneyland. In right before The Force Awakens opened, and I was wearing my my Darth Vader sugar skull shirts, which Chewbacca did not take kindly to. Actually, he did not approve. Oh, and Darth Vader was just very, very quiet. Darth Vader did not utter a single word, which is very intimidating, actually. So.
They have the characters down.
Oh, they do
quite well.
Yeah, they do. So I have yet to meet Kylo Ren, so that should be interesting as well. So, but BB-8, I'm so excited. Oh. Also, at the Walt Disney World in Florida, they are going to, let's move over to the Magic Kingdom here. They are going to say farewell to the nighttime fireworks show, Wishes, which has been the nighttime fireworks since 2003. So, it's been a long time.
Wow.
They are retiring Wishes and bringing in a new show called Happily Ever After, which, if you've ever been to a Disney park and watched fireworks in the evening, you know how grand and spectacular they are. So,
yes.
yeah, there's a lot of people that are very
even if
upset.
you didn't make it to the grounds and watched from across the way, if you were staying at a hotel, you could see them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could see any of the hotels that are along the lake. You can see them. Most of them have dedicated areas where they pump in the music. So other than, having it right in front of you, it's almost like you're right there because you can see it. You can hear the music. You can hear the explosions. So they're pretty spectacular, especially now because the technology is getting more advanced. They can do not just fireworks, they can do lasers, they can do drones, they can do projections. The fireworks aren't just, like right there in front of the castle. In the Magic Kingdom, they've got fireworks that shoot off from inside the Fantasyland expansion that they added several years ago. So if you can't make it to in front of the castle on Main Street, go over to Fantasyland and you can still almost be literally surrounded by fireworks. You can't necessarily see like any projections or anything that is going on, but if you just want the feel and the music, you don't have to be right there in front of the castle. You're still gonna get some of the atmosphere from it. So, but obviously they're gonna include music from a lot of popular Disney films, mostly animation: Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen. I'm sure a lot of people are probably sick of Frozen, but too bad. Lion King, Little Mermaid, Moana, Peter Pan, Princess and the Frog, and Toy Story, among others. So, Wishes last show is going to be May 11th. So, if you happen to be at Disney and you don't want to be in the middle of a crowd, I would avoid the Magic Kingdom that night because I can almost guarantee is going to be a packed house for people to say goodbye to Wishes. Anytime Disney closes something, even if something is going to appear in its place literally the next day, like you can go May 11th, watch Wishes, go back May 12th and see the new show. People go in droves to say goodbye to stuff that closes and shuts down, no matter how big or small it is. So fair warning to you, if you want to avoid, if you don't want to be in the middle of the crowd, I would avoid the Magic Kingdom on the evening of May 11th. Just saying.
Well, and even, I imagine even people who may or may not have an attachment to the fireworks show, it's just the idea of, this is the last time you'll ever get to see it. we've got to go. We've got to be there to
yeah.
see what the whole thing is like. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that's going to be a thing.
I know a lot of people that are very upset that Wishes is going away. Very, very upset.
It kind of seems like this is a thing with the Disney parks. Is they bring in new stuff, and they got to make room for it somehow. And that's how it goes.
Yep. So I'm excited to see the new fireworks when I go. So I'm always up for a sprucing up of things. So I'm excited. Excuse me. Yep. No. All right, moving over across the country, all the way to sunny California. In the Disney's California Adventure, specifically, starting Memorial Day weekend, they are going to be kicking off what they are calling the Summer of Heroes, which I'm more jealous about this, actually, at the moment, for things happening in, late spring, early summer. So obviously, I think we talked about this when they made the announcement. The Tower of Terror is getting a makeover with Guardians of the Galaxy, which is exciting and still strange to say just because we have yet to get a Marvel-themed ride anywhere in the United States in the Disney parks yet. So to say that there's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy is exciting in itself. They're working on it diligently. You can go online. There's photos of where they've got a bunch of scaffold most of the attraction, but they've let like one corner stay visible to the public, and you can see some of the stuff that they've added to the outside of the building. So it's like, hey, here's a little teaser every time you come and look at our building. But that is going to reopen with the Guardians of the Galaxy re-skinning whatever May 27th. That's exciting in itself, but it's also going to kick off the Summer of Heroes event, which is going to include Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Dance Off. So Disney's got descriptions here. So don't be surprised if you run into the Guardians of the Galaxy on their way to the Milano, with Star-Lord firing up his old school boombox to get the party started. Gamora may prefer to stand back and observe, but everyone else is bound to get in the groove and show off their moves during this awesome rock and roll bash.
I don't know why I'm laughing, other than it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's going to be an attraction at Disneyland.
Yeah, well,
California Adventure.
Yeah,
but
in that area of the park, since I've been there, I would assume it's going to go in the spot where the Mad Tea Party, and not Mad Tea Party like the Teacups ride, but this area where there's like a stage, and in the evening they'll do like music and play like electronic dance versions of Disney songs, and there's sometimes characters. It's like Alice in Wonderland characters, and it's supposed to be this crazy like psychedelic, just nighttime. If your kids have any energy at this point, let them burn it off, type thing. So I would guess that's where they're going to put it, because it's kind of set up for music and dancing and that sort of thing.
That makes sense, because I'm trying to think, did I hear that the Mad Tea Party was being discontinued? I don't remember now. Because now that you've said that, I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they closed down for the season. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, because that whole area of California Adventure is like, it's like Hollywood, like old school Hollywood. I can't remember what it's called now. It's been a year. So like the whole time I was hearing about this Guardians of the Galaxy thing, I'm like, how does that work with the theming? But I guess they're gonna make it work. So okay.
Yep. So, they're also going to be adding Over in Disneyland, in the Interventions building, they have like the one floor is all Star Wars, and then the second floor is all Marvel, where they have like the Iron Man suits and props and stuff like that. And I cried when I saw the Iron Man suits for the first time because I was so excited. But there they do have some Marvel character meet and greets. I don't know if this one is going to go there, if it's going to stay over at California Adventure. But over in Disneyland, you can meet Captain America, sometimes Thor, and they'd added Spider-Man right before I went a couple years ago. But now they're going to have a meet and greet with Groot. And I don't know if it's going to be full-size Groot or baby Groot. I don't think they've specified.
They should find out a way to do both.
I know.
Maybe big Groot over at Tomorrowland, and then baby Groot at the ride at California Adventure.
Yeah. Either way, it's Groot.
Yes.
Baby Groot, I'd love to see him in his little red leather jacket.
Yeah. Groot. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm excited to see. If they can do meet and greet with BB-8, they can do it with Groot.
Oh yes, I'm sure if they can do it, they'll find a way to do it.
Yeah. Once again, this is Disney, so do not count them out. They're also going to have the Avengers Training Initiative, where Black Widow and Hawkeye assemble young recruits for a series of tests to see if they have what it takes to join the ranks of the Avengers. So it's kind of like the Jedi Training Academy, except it's going to be with Romanoff and Hawkeye.
Good. Okay.
Awesome.
I just no, it's gonna be great. I'm not disparaging it. I know it's not gonna be Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm imagining the characters and doing that, and and they'll make it fun for kids, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's just like I'm thinking of Romanoff, and she's Natasha. She's just kind of this very businesslike, down to earth sort of thing, and then Hawkeye joking around and just
going into dad mode.
Yes, going into dad mode. Images in my mind.
Yeah.
I cannot convey.
If there aren't
making
references to Budapest, then somebody failed in the script writing.
Yes.
It's like Budapest all over again. Apparently also they're going to have Black Widow make appearances throughout the day in a armored Avengers vehicle to I guess meet up with guests. I had imagined that the dads are going to be very excited about the Black Widow meeting.
And they should be doing a Hawkeye meet and greet for the mums.
Yeah, really.
I know. I was gonna say. I'm certain there'll be several mothers who will be like, "Ooh, Hawkeye, yes."
Yeah. Have you seen his biceps? I'm pretty sure Jeremy Renner's biceps are bigger than my head. And last but certainly not least, food. There's going to be themed food.
This is Disney. They do food.
Yes. And especially themed food. So, yes. Marvel, Palooza is going to be happening over on the West Coast, and I'm insanely jealous of all my West Coast peeps who are going to see this before I do, just because they get Marvel and we don't over in Florida. Stupid ass. One of these days, people, that statute of limitations is going to run out with Universal, and they can start putting the Marvel characters in the
I'm sure it will. And I don't know if you're thinking of me when you say that, but
well,
I it's not going to be me getting there anytime soon.
No. I have friends that are locals and are there, like, weekly. So
okay, because I was like, well, I'm not going to get to see it.
No, I'm talking to the people that
I would love
are
to.
there on a regular basis and live there and go on all the time, and people like Lou, who will be out there for D23 Expo later this year, and D23 happens to be after all this starts, so Lou will probably get to see it, and yeah, just a little jealous.
We will live vicariously through Lou.
Yeah, so be prepared now, Lou Mangello, come August. Just stay tuned to his Instagram. So him and Becky Menken, the two of them, get into all sorts of trouble with. I'm sure Lou's really going to enjoy Black Widow as well. I'm sure Becky Menken is already like, I know the thing with Hawkeye is for kids. Maybe if I get on my knees and talk with a higher pitched voice.
I'm totally 10 years old.
Exactly. Hi, Hawkeye. That and the food. Lou is going to be all over the theme.
Oh yes. There will be a play-by-play of that.
Yes.
And when I say that, I mean I'm expecting it, Lou.
Yep.
Like I'm sure he's listening.
Well, all we have to do is mention Disney and food, and I'm pretty sure we've got his attention, so. It's the magic words.
Yep.
He's like Spider-Man, the Spidey sense. Lou's got Disney food sense. Kind of same thing. Anyway, okay. Enough about me lamenting about Marvel not being on Florida for now. So.
Well, if they could do it,
I know they totally would. They just can't, and it sucks, but that's okay. Hopefully, if this stuff is successful, it'll stick around so I can get out there to see it. So, because I want to meet Groot. Also in May, not that, the California's getting their fun Memorial Day weekend. Florida's not going to get left out. So for those of you that are going to Florida for Memorial Day weekend, you might want to be prepared for a bit of crowd over at Animal Kingdom Park, because also May 27th, Pandora, the World of Avatar, will be grand opening over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So, which I think we've all seen the concept art and the little video. I think Disney just released another short teaser video over the weekend, dangling the carrots for this. Avatar, for what it is, the movie, it was all right. The story, it was okay. It was Fern Gully, but with, CGI characters instead of a cartoon.
It was Fern Gully with Smurfs.
Yeah, with a little bit of like Dances with Wolves thrown in there.
Yeah.
But visually, absolutely gorgeous, and Disney is doing their darndest to bring that into real life. And darn tootin' if they aren't pulling it off from what we've been able to see. So, floating mountains, there's going to be plants that light up after it gets dark. It's totally going to change the way people experience this particular park. Animal Kingdom, as good of as a park it is, it's not a full day park, and it's not because there's not enough to do. It's just once the animals go to sleep, you're left with the rides, and there's only so many, so the park generally closes earlier than what you'd expect for Disney parks. We're used to the parks being open till 9, 10, 11, midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Animal Kingdom closes at, depending on what time it gets dark outside, 5, 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, think of any zoo you've been to, and, at a certain point in the afternoon, all the animals are, napping, and it's kind of like it's not fun anymore.
Yeah. So this is going to allow Animal Kingdom to be a full day park. They can justify staying open after nightfall, because of this and the new river pageant nighttime thing that just started over the weekend, that I can't think of the name of at the moment. So yeah, they're really focusing on expanding the park as a whole, but then also adding more nighttime entertainment so people can be like, yes, we're going to be at Animal Kingdom all day. So I'm excited.
That
so
works.
yeah, Chauncey and I are, we usually hit Animal Kingdom like once when we go. We're fully expecting to maybe have to go to that park twice, during the time that we're there, just because it's probably going to be insanely popular. Even by the time we get there, and just, anytime there's a full, like, new land, you want to take the time to go and, all little corners and look up and look down and all around you and try to catch all the little details. So it's going to be awesome. So Memorial Day weekend, no matter what coast you're on, there's going to be fun stuff.
Oh,
very exciting stuff. So I'm excited. I'm ready to get my Disney on.
You almost sound like you've got your bags packed already.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I need my fix. Take my money. It's like we say, shut up and take my money.
Yep.
Yep.
That was our fandom news flash for this episode, and there was quite a bit, and so I like these episodes where we get to talk about news and things. Honestly, I mean, I like the topics that we get to talk about, the shows and the different top 10 lists and the actors, but the news things, they're kind of fun just to sort of banter about and be like, oh, I hope I get to see this, or I'm excited about this, or oh, this is delayed, or whatever you want to talk about. So and if you, dear listeners, know of any news that we may have missed, it's possible, and you want to bring that to our attention, or you just want to chime in about anything we talked about here or in previous episodes, you can send us in feedback. Our email address is 5ishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram. It's kind of the main ones that we use and we have. And you can find links to all those places, plus many more that we have, at our website, the5ishfangirls.com. And we also have ways to, if you wish, to financially support the show. And as always, we thank our Patreon supporters and those who use our Amazon link to do their shopping. And, that goes a long way to helping us put this show out every week. And, we cannot thank you, those of you who do support us that way, enough. And if you would like to donate to our Patreon account, you can find that link on our website, and also our Amazon store. Whatever shopping you're doing. I mean, last week was my grandma-in-law's birthday, and we got her birthday present and went through our Amazon link, and it was the same price as if we went straight to Amazon, but the podcast gets a little something extra for that. So again, thank you, and thank you for listening and listening to all of our ramblings and fun silliness, because we would do this anyway, but it's more fun to share.
Yes.
With all of you.
Yep. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. So, we've got all sorts of fun stuff planned for upcoming shows. We just gotta get to the right time for them.
Well, I mean, like I said, these are kind of breather episodes, and they're fun to talk about, and fun to talk about current events in fandom. And we cover so many fandoms.
Yep.
So it's nice. It's nice to step back and talk about it a little bit.
Yep. Very exciting.
Anyway.
All right. Well, with that, I guess we shall sign off for this week.
This is Chrissy saying goodnight from Salt Lake City.
This is Sonic from Wisconsin saying goodnight.
This is Mitch saying goodnight from Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Goodbye, everyone. Been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Any and all movies, books, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied.